Here's a look at the stats for Adam Wainwright. The last poor game that Wainwright had, he actually was a winner on June 21st against the Royals, where he gave up 5 runs. Since then, he hasn't had an outing where he's given up more than 2.
There's the defense. Holiday, Rasmus, Ankiel, DeRosa, Lugo, Schumacher, Pujols at first, Wainwright throwing to Molina. We're just about set to go. The Cardinals with a win would get to 10 games over 500 for the first time since May the 1st. Michael Bourne's batting .286, 2 for 8 in the series. Strike on the corner. The plate umpire this afternoon is Bill Hahn. Paul Emmel is at first. Gary Darling, the crew chief, at second. Jerry Meals at third. Another one right in the same spot, 0-2. Bourne, 26 years of age, from Houston, Texas.
He's really had a breakout season for the Astros. At the top of the lineup, leads the National League in triples and in stolen bases. The average at .286 is good enough. He got picked off yesterday by Chris Carpenter, and he ended up getting ejected for throwing his helmet and arguing the call.
First time he's ever been ejected from a game. That's fouled away. Bourne attended the University of Houston in his hometown. He was a broadcast major there. July 15th of 2007. First major league home run was against the Cardinals. This will play for DeRosa. One away. Kaz Matsui batting .254. 2 for 7 in the series. The switch hitter. 25 RBIs, 4 home runs for Kaz. Matsui from Osaka, Japan. This fellow was a 7-time All-Star in Japan. That's out of play.
First 3 batters in this lineup all run well. Bourne, Matsui has 11 stolen bases. Hunter Pence batting third today in the Astros lineup. He has 9 stolen bases, and really it's helpful to have a guy like Yadier Molina behind the plate to neutralize the speed of a team like the Astros, who also hit pretty well as a team. .268 puts them second in the National League in batting.
Matsui is 6 for 14 in his last 4 games. He's the only major league player to hit first 5 career home runs leading off in the first inning. And this out to shortstop. Lugo goes on. Lugo showed very quick hands. That ball took a little bounce on him, and he got to it.
He actually fielded that ball off to the side, which is not what you'd really want to teach. Brendan Ryan has been unbelievable defensively for the Cardinals. He's probably got one more off day. Perhaps he'll be ready to play on Tuesday. Lugo's made a few errors this year. Most of them were with the Red Sox. He made 7 errors there, just 1 as a Cardinal. He does have very, very good hands, but you always appreciate a guy getting behind the ball just in case it takes that bad hop.
Hunter Pence fouls off the first offering. He's 0 for 5 in this series, but he's a .350 hitter lifetime against Wainwright. Pence is a Texan from Fort Worth. 2nd round pick in the '04 draft. Carpenter has featured the curveball against Pence. And there's one that's just low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fans still coming in. Another sellout crowd here. The strikeout. The Astros go quietly after a half inning. No score.
You do get it.
been struggling of late. Schumacher and Rasmus are a combined 3 for their last 28 during this homestand. We'll see if they can get on track in front of Matt Holliday, who's been outstanding. Albert Pujols not had a good homestand offensively either. And we'll see if they can get it going against Bud Norris, who's making his first major league start. He has made one appearance out of the bullpen. And with Roy Oswalt having some back issues, the Astros need pitching. And with Wandy Rodriguez pulling a muscle in the game here in this series, that's really going to be tough for the Astros.
And of course they have Aaron Boone and Darren Erstad also on the DL. Here's the way the Astros defense stacks up.
Bourne and Pence both have a lot of outfield assists. 10 for Bourne, 8 for Pence. Bourne has one in this series. They don't have strong arms, but teams run against them. And so they pick up some outfield assists along the way.
Schumacher stands in. A strike at the letters. He's 2 for 16 on the homestand, batting .296.
It's always interesting, Jay, to look at that outfield assist category every year. What you will find is the best arms in the league and the worst arms in the league. Nobody in the middle, because the guys with the bad arms everybody runs on, and the good arms are going to get guys from time to time.
That catches the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Norris is a 24-year-old Californian. Played at Cal State San Luis Obispo, and he strikes out Schumacher.
Well, that's a good start for Norris. His repertoire is pretty good fastball. He throws it in the low 90s. He has a slider and a changeup. And talking to Jim Deshaies, the broadcaster and former Astros pitcher, he said that he really does have good stuff. It's just a matter of throwing enough strikes and being ahead in the count enough.
Rasmus on this homestand has been suffering. He's 1 for 12. His average down to .252. The Redbirds 58 and 49 coming into today's game. Team batting average of .257. The Redbirds are 31 and 22 here at home this year. They are 5 and 3 against Houston. Of course, the 3 losses the last time the Cardinals were down in Houston.
Interesting. They swept the Astros, were swept by the Astros, and have a chance today of sweeping them again.
2 balls and a strike. Right down the heart of the plate, 2-2. The home team has won the last 11 games in this series. Foul back. After a sweep of the Cardinals on July 22nd down in Houston, the Astros were only 1 game back in the race in the Central. Now they're 5.5 back starting today's play.
I think it's been good for Colby Rasmus to have some days off. With Matt Holliday here, all of a sudden the outfield became very productive, and you don't need him every day. Ankiel's swinging the bat well, but I think for a rookie, Jay, it's good to have some time just to kind of watch and get yourself settled. And he's had a good year, and he doesn't need to be ashamed about that. He has not swung the bat well lately, but every once in a while getting a mental break as a rookie is a good thing.
They walk to Rasmus. Albert Pujols 5 for 24 on this homestand, and he's been struggling, of course, since the Holiday trade, and so have Ludwig and Schumacher, as you mentioned.
Not alone. 19 for 98 combined. Ludwig again with the off day today. Cardinals off tomorrow. That'll be an extended rest for him. And Cardinals really need Skip Schumacher. He's really an underrated part of this Cardinal offense, getting on base in front of the guys who get the RBIs.
That caught the inside corner. Redbirds, as you mentioned, off tomorrow, then 2 in New York. Thursday's an off day, and then 3 in Pittsburgh. Back home for 3 with Cincinnati next week, and then an off day in the middle of the week, and 3 with San Diego. Time called.
Albert was out to catch the first pitch thrown out before the game from Franklin Graham, the son of Billy Graham, who's here for a concert under the arch after the game today. The Rock the River tour is in town, and Albert wanted to meet Franklin Graham, and Franklin threw the ball about 8 feet over his head and hit a cameraman. But I'm sure he asked for forgiveness.
I'm sure. That's high and tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rockies have an early 1-0 lead at Cincinnati in the 5th inning. Rasmus down there at first, 1 out. Albert hits it to right. Pence coming on, 2 away. And here he comes, Matt Holliday. The 2 home runs he hit here last night. The first one was 360 feet, the second one 395.
He did it against a couple of pretty good pitchers. Rodriguez has been the hottest pitcher in the National League in the month of June. And then Valverde, the closer, very close. Quick feet, quick throw from Norris. Almost got Colby napping over there at first base.
Holliday batting .314 on the year, and of course .606 since he became a Cardinal. On the ground it goes. Matsui on to Plum. After an inning of play, no score. I love the hat as we remind you of Sunday's game day on Channel 5. Our next broadcast a week from today, we'll be in Pittsburgh to go against the Pirates. Coverage begins at noon right here on your home for Cardinal baseball, News Channel 5.
Want me to get you one of those hats, Jay? I could probably go take care of that.
Look better on her. Carlos Lee, a shot to center field. Rasmus right there, 1 away. Lee came in with a .310 batting average. His home run last night, the 299th of his career.
And a good start for Adam Wainwright. 4 outs, 1 out here on 1 pitch in the 2nd inning. Wainwright has a 2.80 ERA that we mentioned. That puts him 8th in the National League. And with Carpenter's outing yesterday, he has taken over the lead in that department. He lowered his ERA to 2.10 with his great outing here yesterday, and including a double himself, and he scored a run, the winning run.
Miguel Tejada's batting .325. Fouls it back. Tejada, now 34 years old, from the Dominican. Traded to Houston in December of '07 for 5 players. Two for 9 in the series. Fouled into the seats. Brendan Ryan, as Rick mentioned, not in the lineup, and hopefully we'll be able to get back into play on a regular basis starting next Tuesday in New York. A strikeout, the second for Wainwright.
That's the curveball from Wainwright that we've seen so many times. Gets ahead of Tejada, then that breaker, he just can't lay off it. He thinks it's going to be about knee high and ends up almost hitting the plate.
And with 2 away, Jeff Blum steps in. This fella, a good defensive player, and his average right now at .268. Playing first base this afternoon with Berkman out of the lineup. He's primarily a third baseman in his career.
Strikeouts have become a big weapon for Wainwright. He's 5th in the National League, and he really has improved on getting deeper into games. He doesn't throw a lot of warm-up pitches, and he really tries to conserve that before the game, just so he's got enough energy to go 8 or 9.
It caught the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bill Hahn takes a little time before he gives you that pump with the strike.
He had to wait for the coin to stop flipping.
2-2.
One of the things you miss about being in the bullpen or the dugout during a game is you miss some of the, I guess you'd say, some of the razzing that goes on from player to player, team to team, team to umpire. Now, I know they don't do that as much as they used to do. It was almost a sport, Jay. And I'm not saying it was really a good thing, but it sure was funny to have a guy like Tom Lawless nonstop chirping during a game, picking on the umpire, somebody on the other team. I mean, it's just downright funny.
Another shot into center field, and Kobe Rasmus comes on, and Wainwright has handled the first 6. No score.
It's start in the Midsummer Classic. Pick it up at Busch Stadium, area bookstores, stlcardinals.com, or call 314-345-9303.
If you're traveling and can't catch the Cardinals television broadcasts, catch all the action on your computer at MLB.tv. Over 100 live out-of-market games per week. For complete details, visit STLCardinals.com, where baseball is always on. What a day. Rick Ankiel batting .240, 4 for 13 in the series. He'll be followed by DeRosa and Molina.
We've talked a lot about the new guys on the Cardinals, Lugo, DeRosa, Holiday, but Ankiel's kind of a new guy too. He's reworked his stance, so much more confident at the plate in the last couple of weeks, and swinging the bat much better. He's really quick with his swing. He goes straight to the ball now.
On the outside corner, this pitcher, Bud Norris, the first Astro to make his first start in the big league since Alberto Arias, September of '08. Let's go now to Frank Cusimano, who's with the GM. Frank?
Jay, thanks very much. We get together with John Mozeliak. And John, I'm sure when you made that trade, you thought Matt Holliday would be hitting 600 after a few games, huh?
Just like we planned. But in all seriousness, I don't think anybody could have predicted that type of performance so far. But it's been great to see, and I think it's just really energized our club, our fans, and our city, and it's fun.
And it's one thing to pick him up. It's another to pick him up right when he starts to get red hot, because he was starting to hit at the end at Oakland.
He was. He started to swing the bat pretty well out there, and I think the timing was perfect for us. And we didn't have to wait till the 11th hour to get it done, and he's had time to get adjusted to our team.
We mentioned on the pregame show the guy hitting Mark DeRosa right now is exactly what the doctor ordered. He's homering every 9 at-bats. This has been a tremendous acquisition also.
He is, and you know, he's a great person. He's got amazing leadership capabilities, and he's just been really good for this team. And you know, when you look at adding a guy like this to a ball club, he was just what we needed, so it's nice to see.
Final thought, you talk about adding a guy to the ball club. Are there any moves left? Are you going to evaluate here towards the end of August and then maybe make a move down the stretch? Or are you just going to see what happens with this club?
Well, I think in fairness, we want to see how this club plays, but as we enter now the post-trading deadline into where you require trade waivers, we'll just see what's out there. But if there's a way to get better, we have to consider it.
John, we appreciate the visit. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Frank.
That's Cardinal General Manager John Mozeliak. Back to Jay and Rick.
And Mark DeRosa struck out. Second strikeout for Norris. Here's Yadier Molina. 1 ball and no strikes. Yadi batting .284. Had a double in last night's game. Balls and a strike. Foul back to the screen. They shade Yadi just a little bit to the right.
About Yadi picking up another stolen base yesterday.
Yep.
6 for 7 now. He has more stolen bases than Schumacher and Rasmus combined.
Who would have thunk it? The 2-2 fouled away. The Redbirds here at home playing day baseball are 20-19 this season. They're 27-22 in the Central Division games.
And we've got another full crowd here. Packed. Ticket sales going through the roof. I'm sure Joe Strom and his bunch are happy but busy.
Tejada comes up, throws on, and that'll do it. After 2 innings of play, the pitching has looked strong for both sides. field advantage and an extraordinary Cardinals baseball experience. For reservation and information, call 314-421-1776 or visit HiltonSTLLewis.com. And here is Pudge Rodriguez to lead it off. He'll be followed by Keppinger and Norris. Scoreless game after 2. And we are joined by the voice of the Cardinals, Mr. Michael Shannon. Hello.
See, I'm coordinated with you boys today.
You look good. My goodness. How are you, Moon?
Good. How's it going here?
It's going all right if you're a pitcher.
Yeah, they're both on at the start here. It's usually these guys, these rookies, you haven't seen him before. They come in and, uh-oh, watch out. And he's done well, Bud has in the first couple of innings. But he's facing a tough one today in Wainwright.
That didn't take very long. Third strikeout for Wainwright.
Cardinals really have their pitching set up with Carpenter, Wainwright, and Pinheiro. Pinheiro pitches in New York, and the last outing for Los was a good one. Things are looking up. You finally put some money into this thing. We got some players now. I appreciate that, Jennings. Got some of that KSD TV money.
I think you better thank Mr. DeWitt.
Oh, is that who it is?
Keppinger grounds out 4-3, and this game moving right along as Bud Norris will come to the plate. Norris, when he came over to the Astros after his contract was purchased at the time, he was leading the Pacific Coast League in ERA with 2.63 and in strikeouts with 112. And this fellow's been very impressive in the early going here, but we'll see how it goes for him the second time through.
Well, they need some youngsters into their starting rotation. They're getting some gray beards over there.
Yeah, you could say that, you know, about the entire lineup.
Well, they always say that when you're not going well.
That's true.
when they're going well, they say, oh, those wise old veterans are doing a good job.
1 ball and 1 strike.
There's always one way to look at it or another. You know, it's either half full or half empty. You're either old or too young, or you don't have enough experience, or you're too experienced.
Here's Cecil Cooper, 59 years old, from Brenham, Texas. Little number. And making the play not in time. Wainwright. It's a base hit, the first hit of the game by Bud Norris, and it's his first hit as a major leaguer, of course.
Boy, you know, you see how close this game is. Now watch this. Watch this little miscue right here. Boom. That's all it took, and he's safe. If he feels it cleanly, he's out. Tough game, isn't it?
It's a game of inches, no question about that.
Just that little bitty reach and nothing there. And Wainwright, he knew it when he looked up.
Michael Bourne will come to the plate. Yeah, that
he gets down there pretty good, doesn't he?
I was just going to say the pitcher,
tell you what, those guys
runs pretty well.
Hey, when they smell those base hits, man, they light out like somebody lit the fire.
Bourne grounded out to start the game. Foul tipped into the glove. The Astros 4-game losing streak coming into this action. They're 23-28 on the road.
Jay, how about this homestand for the Cardinals? This will be our 7th sellout in succession.
It's been remarkable to see Cardinal Nation react to the reworking of the lineup and the moves that have been made. I mean, it is really a great compliment to the organization.
And to
also
the fans.
A great compliment to the fans. That's
You're
right.
Correct.
Check swing. Little toss over to Schumacher from Lugo. That's going to do it. 2.5 innings are by the boards. No score. Great day for the youngsters here. It's family day. The Build-A-Bear folks have got the stuffed animals for the kids that have had a chance to help with those. There you see them working on those, and that's terrific. There was free ice cream, of course, before the game, and the kids will be able to run the bases after the game today. A wonderful day, family day at Busch Stadium. And Cardinal fans, when it comes to tickets, you deserve Major League service. Go online to StubHub, the official fan-to-fan marketplace of the Cardinals, and the only site with Fan Protect guarantee. Lugo will lead it off as we move to the bottom of the third inning. Julio 5 for 21 on this series. He's certainly done a nice job. The Astros have lost 7 of their last 8.
Cardinals trying to go 6 out of 7 on this homestand. They can sweep this series. Took 3 out of 4 from Los Angeles. Had sellouts in all 4 of those games and have sold out on all 3 of these.
But Norris has looked very sharp. The rookie out there on the hill getting the call, with Oswald not able to perform right now. They hope maybe to get him back next week. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Cubs playing at Florida later this afternoon. This deflected off the pitcher and out to Matsui, who makes the play. That ball was hit right on the nose, but it just deflected off Norris to Matsui. You see the combined totals: 48 for 139, a 345 average for Holiday, DeRosa, and Lugo.
The 3 amigos, huh? They keep going like that. Call them anything they want.
Lugo's out 1 for 3.
Ooh. A lot of people commenting about the arch and the grass. The ground crew has done a fabulous job.
They sure have, Mike. And a lot of people would like
nice
to see that stay there. I don't know whether that's the plan or not, but
well, if you keep winning, they'll put whatever you want down.
Wainwright has a 150 batting average. He has 3 RBIs and a home run. And another play for Matsui. 2 gone. Join News Channel 5 every Sunday morning at 10 for Wings of Hope, Cardinal Nation. 30 minutes of in-depth stories, interviews, and features about your hometown team. The Wings of Hope, Cardinal Nation, right here on your home of Cardinal baseball, News Channel 5.
Well, they have some in-depth in that show. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a fun show, very informative. Schumacher struck out in the first. He's a guy you'd like to see get going. Top of the order today. And a fine play by Keppinger. He came up with that ball, just did. And the Cardinals are down 1-2-3.
It's the kitchen.
It's new at Hardee's with sliced roast beef and a cup of au jus. By Bank of America. Cardinal banking only at Bank of America. And by Schnucks. Low prices, no sacrifices. And there is a view from the top of the Metropolitan Building, Kimo's Restaurant, the Cusimano family. And here we go. Kaz Matsui leading it off. He'll be followed by Pence and Lee.
Wainwright has all the tools, and he's getting better and better. He's still a youngster. What a trade that was, picking him up from Atlanta.
Another shot into center field. Rasmus over his head.
He got a late break on that ball.
He did, and it is a double.
Well, let's take another look at it when we get a chance, but I don't think he thought that ball was hit that hard. Watch him now. See how it took him a little long, and then he's I better speed it up. Too late now, man.
Hunter Pence struck out in the first inning. Second hit of the game for Houston, the double by Matsui.
Boy, those great outfielders, they can anticipate we say getting a great break. You can see that the ball was way off of the bat before Rasmus took his first step, and those other guys seem to have already taken a half step before it comes off the bat. He's a youngster and he's learning.
Yep.
And it's day games. Some of these players have a difficult time picking up the ball during the daytime.
And especially tough, Mike, when that ball is hit right at you.
Well, when it's hit right at you, there's about the only thing you can do is when a big guy hits him, go back. When a little guy hits him, come in.
And another shot into center field. They're going to hold the runner at third. They're at the corners with nobody out. Dave McKay there after the double.
He's trying to tell him, you know, he takes care of the outfielders and where they're supposed to be aligned. You see him talking about going inside out with that swing.
Well, here's the big bopper for Houston these days. Big home run here last night. He's at 299 all time in his career for home runs. Carlos Lee fly to center in the second. Comes up empty on his first swing.
It's a bigger overhand hook. They used to call that a drop down at Heine Miney.
Old Heine Miney.
The drop.
This fella has 4 home runs and 10 RBIs in his last 8 games.
They used to also call him an in-shoot. Remember? Now they call him sinker. Yeah, right terminology. It's wonderful.
Houston threatening here in the fourth.
Yeah, what you need here is the strikeout or the pop-up. Then you have the double play that's in line, and you can get out of the inning, even though you have first and third and no one out. This guy's a good hitter, though. Not only does he hit the ball out of the ballpark, but he hits for average also. Carlos Lee.
32 years old from Panama. And he got the strikeout. It is strikeout number 4 for Wainwright, and that is huge.
Well, see, these are what I call momentum switches in a ball game. When you have an opportunity to score and you don't do it, or the other team shuts you down, the momentum just floods to the other side. And if they get a base hit here, you know, that'd be a pick-me-up base hit, then they might maintain that momentum.
Tejada struck out in the second. High and tight. Tejada starts the day with 62 RBIs. Lee was 64. Hunter Pence has 43.
They're well balanced up and down the lineup when they're swinging the bats.
Runner goes. Fake the throw. Now throw. And.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I thought
Holy mackerel.
Oh, he sure looked out to me.
Ooh-wee. Unbelievable. Wow.
It's a stolen base.
Let's take another look and let us umpire. He was right on top of it. You can't complain. I mean, he was right where he was supposed to be. It looked like got his foot in there before the tag.
So now 2 runners in scoring position. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tejada.
Double play out of order now.
Time called. Deep to right, foul. At Cincinnati, the Reds, who have really fallen on hard times, are losing to the Rockies 3-0. It's in the top of the 7th inning.
Yeah, Marquis pitching for the Rockies. He's going for his 13th win, and Wainwright is trying to get his 13th. There are 4 guys with 12 wins in the National League. Beckett won his 13th over in the American League last night.
Both of those guys from the Atlanta system originally. And as a run scores as that ball is handled by Lugo, but it's a base hit. As there was no play, DeRosa moving to his left couldn't get there in time, and there was nobody to throw to.
Well, the guy was had already crossed the plate, and there's nobody covering third because the third baseman was going after the ball. So all you do is you look at the autograph on there. It says Bud Selig, Commissioner of Baseball.
Tejada with his 63rd RBI. 1-0 Houston.
Put the ball in play.
Here's Jeff Blum. He flied to center field in the 2nd inning. Ooh, look out. Lined into the dugout over there.
I was going to kick out of it. The fans they're going for the baseball. The players are running away from it. Of course, those players know how tough it is and how hard it is.
Well, you taught me a long time ago.
Don't
foul one off and bring it back into this booth. Don't you dare put your hand up.
No, sir. You come back with a stub, man.
Little popper on the run. DeRosa. 2 away. Here's Mike Shannon. Steak and seafood. Boy, oh boy.
The fans have really been out this weekend in downtown St. Louis.
A lot going on.
Yeah, I tell you. You know, we do our show from over there after the game live at Shannon's, and man, that Margaret Street people are going up and down. It's something. They really have. The gate sales, because of these trades, have been phenomenal. The tickets sold at the ballpark, the walk-ups for the games. It's been amazing. Well, sellouts in all 7 of these games. And we keep telling the folks, I know you do the same, Jay, as a half swing, and he went too far. He's called on a strike. We've got a nice homestand when we come back, and there are tickets available now, but you need to get them now or you're not going to have the great choice.
Next homestand, it'll be the Reds and the Padres.
And we go to the West Coast. Play the Dodgers in San Diego.
Rodriguez at the plate. He struck out in the 3rd inning. Batting only 185 with runners in scoring position. He has caught more games than any man in the history of the game. Albert on the run, What a play. Hey, what a play.
That's
showing great agility there, Albert. But Houston has plated a run and leads 1-0 after 3.5 innings. Shake defensive play of the game.
Well, not only is this guy, watch, he steps on the tarp, then he runs across the box seat railing. You talk about agility. You talk about knowing where you are and having some great vision. He's watching the ball, but he knows where he is. Then he hits the tarp. Then he hits the top of the railing and walks along that. It's a phenomenal play.
And Wainwright very appreciative, and I don't blame him. Rasmus walked in the first. Gets this down to first base, and he is quickly out of there.
This guy's retired 9 in a row. He gave a walk in the first inning.
Yep.
Boom.
Here's Albert.
Amazing. A guy makes a play, and he always seems to come to bat in that same inning. Isn't it?
Yep.
A lot of times leading it off. Yeah, that was some play. He's running full out with his back to the infield. He jumps up on that tarp where he catches the ball, jumps on the tarp, then jumps up on the top of the railing.
Albert flied to right in the first. Ball gets by. Mike, I know you had an opportunity to visit earlier today with John Veidt, celebrating his 85th birthday. Had a nice visit with him and his daughter, Susan Veidt, who is the president of Fleischmann Hilliard. And
her grandson was here also.
Yeah, really.
Young man from San Diego.
Yeah, congratulations to Mr. Veidt, 85 years young. He looks great, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The walk is the second issued by Norris. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. Here's Holliday. Grounded out to end the first inning. Everyone knows, Mike, that this guy has gotten off to just a remarkable start as a Cardinal. I just want to tell our fans too, and if and when you have a chance to get to know this guy, he is a really quality person. Stillwater, Oklahoma, and he enjoys Mid-America. He told me he's really very comfortable here. Let's hope he's here for a while.
I don't know anybody that's pulling against him, but as a Cardinal fan, I can tell you that. And boy, you talk about breaking into the style. Is he been hot or what? Ooh,
just terrific.
He's 7 out of 8 in this series, coming in with a couple of home runs. Had 2 home runs in the game yesterday. Just missed that.
Yeah, just got under it. Tejada with the glasses down makes the play. 2 away for Ankiel.
Very important. Every once in a while, you come to the ballpark. Watch the second baseman, the shortstop. He wants to see where his outfielders are before the pitch, so he knows how far he has to go out. And that was a good example of it, with Lee playing very deep and not being the speediest guy. Tejada knows that he's going to have to go out there and cover some ground. And both those guys, the shortstop and the second baseman, that's their job.
Ankiel grounded out in the second.
There's big Carlos Lee. This is the other night. Carlos Lee was stretching before the game.
He's got his yogurt there with him. And he put.
Gotta watch that waistline.
He did put one hand behind his head there.
Tell you what, though, he doesn't look like a yogurt man when he's at that plate.
No, sir.
He looks like he's eating steak rare. That's hilarious, though.
Carlos not getting too involved there.
Don't want to stress yourself before the game, you know. That's great. You can't hide anymore in this business.
No. Too many cameras around, aren't there?
That's a great one.
Well, the Reds have come back to tie the Rockies 3-3 in the 7th. 1-0 here, Houston. Down to first. That's going to do it. And we'll show you a little more of Carlos Lee as we go to break with the Astros leading 1-0.
You can purchase a terrace or pavilion reserved seat and receive a free hot dog and soda. There's also half-price nights. It's easy to do. Head to STLCardinals.com and go to the Fan Values Corner section of the Cardinals website. Our next half-price night is on Monday, August 10th against Dusty Baker and the Reds. Get your tickets at STLCardinals.com.
Keppinger leading it off. Go to the 5th inning. Keppinger grounded out in the 3rd inning. Count of 1-1 to Keppinger as Rick Horton rejoins us here.
How about that play by Albert?
Oh, you were away and didn't see it, but we already made it our defensive play of the game. Rasmussen center field, 1 out. And here comes Bud Norris, who got the first hit of the game for his team and his first hit in the majors. Brace yourself, St. Louis. Dr. Oz is coming this fall to News Channel 5. You have an appointment with Dr. Oz beginning September 14th. Get ready to live right now. The Dr. Oz Show debuts weekday mornings September 14th on News Channel 5. Norris is out, short to first. Go back to the top of the order to Michael Bourne, who has grounded out twice this afternoon.
Looks like he didn't finish that haircut.
Might have lost a bet, you never know.
Got to appreciate what Adam Wainwright was able to do in the 4th inning, giving up just 1 run in that inning, even though it could have been a lot worse than that. And he does what starting pitchers are supposed to do, and that's keep his team in the game. Keep it close.
Strike to Bourne. Bourne was drafted in the 4th round in the 03 draft. One ball and 2 strikes. Must have just been a little low. 2-2. for Schumacher. That'll do it. After 4.5, Houston 1, St. Louis nothing. Commerce Bank. Want more in a banking relationship? Call, click, or come by Commerce Bank. Member FDIC. By Fairmount Park. Make group reservations now for affordable fun at Fairmount Park. And by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. DeRosa, Molina, and Lugo. Bottom of the 5th inning. 1-4-0 for Houston. 0-0-0 Cardinals. Check swing foul.
Pretty impressed with this youngster making his major league debut as a starter anyway. He does have that one relief appearance that we talked about, but he's really just kind of flown right through the Cardinal hitters.
This is popped up. And the play made over there by Blum. One away. What's on tap? Presented by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability. And on Tuesday, first of 2 against the Mets from New York. Fox Sports Midwest. Coverage beginning at 5:30. Molina grounded out in the 2nd inning. Red Sox leading at Baltimore 11-6. They're in the 4th inning. Scored some runs there in Baltimore today. Philadelphia at San Francisco later. Chicago at Florida later. LA at Atlanta later. Washington leading Pittsburgh 4-2 in the 7th inning at Pittsburgh. And again, it's 3-3 in Cincinnati, the Rockies and the Reds.
Scott Rowland got hit by a pitch in that game and had to come out. Got hit by Jason Marquis, former teammate.
Coming on to make the play is Pence. 2 away.
As we talk about the schedule around the league, we can take a look at the Cardinals schedule in August. It's supposed to be the dog days, but a really easy schedule for the Cardinals. Combined winning percentage is .449 of the 26 games the Cardinals have, with 5 scheduled off days. 23 of the 26 games are against teams that are playing less than 500. The Dodgers, the only team above 500, and you've got 3 last place teams in that mix. So it's a chance for the Cardinals in August, mostly using just 4 starting pitchers, to maybe get that over 500 streak up to maybe 15 games over 500. They're at 9 right now.
The bunt by Lugo, and a nice play by Keppinger. Redbirds go quietly, After 5, 1-0 Houston. This day in baseball history, Senators rookie Walter Johnson, the big train, makes his major league debut. Ty Cobb gets his first hit off the Hall of Famer, and despite what some people might think down in the truck, I did not broadcast that game.
It might have been fun to have the opportunity to do that, though, with Walter Johnson and Ty Cobb in that game.
I had a chance to meet Walter Johnson as a youngster. Never, of course, saw him pitch, but the stories about him, of course, are legendary. He was in the original Hall of Fame class.
As I understand it, he threw from low three-quarters and threw very, very hard, but from a different arm angle than most pitchers threw at that time.
Matsui is grounded out, doubled and scored. 2 balls and a strike. We're in the 6th inning. In Chicago, the Yankees leading the White Sox 5-4. Yankees batting in the top of the 5th. Angels lead Minnesota 4-2, 5th inning at Minnesota. Lugo throws on. Well, we're calling all the youth dancers and cheerleaders. It's time for the 8th annual Team Fredberg Dance Clinic. Saturday, August 29th, Team Fredberg conducts a one-day dance clinic. Participants will perform on the field prior to the Cardinals game that night. One great price includes all of this plus tickets to the game. For more information, visit stlcardinals.com or call 314-345-9500. Ball fouled out of play.
(12-6) curveball. He leaves that up a little bit, about thigh high. I'll tell you, Hunter Pence was carved up by Chris Carpenter yesterday.
Well, he struck out in the first, and this lined to DeRosa, couldn't hold on. It's a base hit.
He actually had a chance to throw him out after initially almost catching the ball. It hits it down to the ground, and if he'd have been able to pick it up, he would have been able to throw out Pence, who's just barely out of the box at that point. Does run well, but DeRosa, quick reflexes, almost robs that base hit from Pence.
5 hits now for Houston. Carlos Lee has flied to center and struck out. in for a strike.
The Rockies with that 4-3 lead in Cincinnati. Jason Marquis trying to become the first 13-game winner in the National League. Adam Wainwright would love to join him. Both of them are at 12, 5 pitchers in the National League with 12 victories.
Want to send along a happy 6th anniversary. Note the wife Casey to Matt Hill. Casey Hill says that Matt never misses a game, either in person or watching with us on television. 2 balls and a strike. Throw over. Rick, I want to mention something else. St. Louis, big week here for golf fans. The United States Golf Association Women's Amateur Championship starts tomorrow at Old Warson Country Club. Finest women players in America in the amateur ranks. 2 days of stroke play, and after 36 holes they'll go into match play with the top 64 players. So it'll be a great week.
It looks like it'll be great weather for that golf event. Unbelievable the weather we've had in St. Louis this summer. Feel like we've moved to San Diego, Jay.
Yeah. Out on the grass, Schumacher makes the play. 2 away. And a reminder for all the highlights and complete wrap up of the weekend sports, you don't want to miss the Don Brown Deal Sports Plus. Join News Channel 5's Rennie Knott and Frank Cusimano tonight following the late news right here on News Channel 5. A special get together with Matt Holliday tonight, and a look at the Rams training camp, which is underway out in Nurse City. Tejada struck out, singled, and picked up an RBI. Close play over there. He was leaning. Hunter Pence back in time.
Pence had that stolen base in the 4th inning where he tried the delayed steal, stopped, and then continued on, and Molina almost threw him out.
Wainwright misses low. 2 balls and no strikes.
Speed is such a great asset for a club to have. The Astros have a number of players that can run. Pence is one of them. There was a time when the Cardinals, after went through the craze with Vince Coleman and Willie McGee, started drafting everybody who could run high. They were looking for guys who could fly. The problem is some of those guys couldn't steal first base. You got to get there.
That
first.
is a problem. Yep. Foul ball.
Very close to being a double. This ball just barely goes the third base side of the bag. Again, it's not where the ball hits, it's where is the ball as it goes over the bag. Is it in fair territory and foul or foul? That's a tough judgment call too. You've got to be right on that if you're an umpire. And of course, what else do they have to do, Jay? They're not paying bills, they're not taking out the trash. I mean, they just got to look for that call, right? So how hard can it be?
It's a pretty tough go, though. These guys, they do I give them credit. They do a good job.
Well, you know what we don't talk about with these guys is the players are on the road 80 days a year. They're on the road 160 days.
Right.
And not only that, every place they go, people don't like them. For the player, at least half the time, somebody's going to like you. And the other half, they'll either ignore you or boo you because you're a really good player, which you kind of take as a compliment. But these guys, you can't take it as a compliment when they boo you and you're an umpire.
3 balls and a strike. Into right field. Pence goes on to third. Runners at the corners with 2 out for Blum. Television viewers are saying that they want more comedy these days. Jay Leno has a full hour of comedy every weeknight in prime time this fall. The Jay Leno Show debuts September 14th on News Channel 5. New comedy 5 nights a week at 9. The Jay Leno Show. It's about time. Blum has flied to center and fouled out. Curveball a little low. Wainwright trying to get out of another jam. He's limited the problems here. It's a 1-run game. Balls and no strikes.
Third base coach is Dave Clark. He wants to make sure the runner at first can see him and he's not blocked by the pitcher. And he goes back as far away from home plate as he can get to make sure he doesn't get hit by a foul ball. Can't blame him. I don't know why they bother to make those boxes down there. He hadn't been in it yet.
They look nice on the field,
I guess.
Well, now it's 3-0. Pence down there at third. Tejada over at first. In for a strike. 3-1. Houston got their run in the fourth. A double by Matsui. Single by Pence. After a strikeout, Tejada with a single and the RBI. That's fouled into the seats. Oh boy, what a nice day. I've said that 3 or 4 times, but it's a stunning day. It really is.
Great place to be with your family.
Payoff pitch coming. Struck him out. That's number 5 in the strikeout department for Wainwright. Houston leads 1-0.
You can spike one.
Half price nights, family Sundays, kids tickets at just $7. Find out more at STLCardinals.com. Click on the Fan Values corner.
Trivia time presented by Schnucks, celebrating 70 years of operating in the greater St. Louis area. Smith's Hall of Fame career, which did he have more of, strikeouts or stolen bases? Well, look at that. 589 strikeouts.
Pretty close.
580 stolen bases.
Very complete player.
Number 1 and number 2 on the board there. Smith and Shane Dienst as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Ozzie was a smart hitter. He could hit the ball between first and second with a runner on first base better than anybody that I've seen play this game in the last 10 years.
Worked very hard to make himself a good hitter after coming here from San Diego. Cardinals still looking for their first hit of the game. Caught the inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Wainwright grounded out in the 3rd inning. Bud Norris, the rookie from California, rolling along here. First hit of the game. How about that? Carpenter with a big hit last night. Wainwright hopefully getting it started right here.
Well, Norris had the first hit off of Wainwright, and now Wainwright repays the favor. This one was actually hit pretty hard up the middle by Wainwright, who's kind of like having a 9th hitter on your club when he plays, because he really is a good athlete and knows what to do with the bat. We'll see if Skip Schumacher can move him along.
Skip just 2 for 18 in the homestand. Has struck out and grounded out. Catches the corner.
Keppinger not sure at 3rd base. He's like right in between, thinking, now is he going to bunt or not? So he's kind of halfway. A lot of times that gets you in trouble when you go halfway. You either play in on the grass or you play deep, and he's kind of in between by the time the ball heads towards home plate.
Here's one into right field, but Pence is right there. Be a hero and feed the hungry during the month of August. Join News Channel 5's Hero Central, Operation Food Search, and Walmart to fill up our food pantries and help our neighbors in need. Just stop by any Walmart to donate or visit ksdk.com and donate right now. Need a hero? Be a hero. Rasmus has walked and grounded out. That's low.
Be nice to see him get on one of those tears, Jay, like he was on a couple of weeks ago before he started having that heel problem resurface. Got the second cortisone shot, which I think has made him feel better, but somewhere in there he lost his timing. Wasn't really playing as much because Ankiel has been red hot and Holiday has been what he's been, so hard to crack the lineup right now.
Fouled away. 2 balls and a strike. 1 on and 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning. Houston leads it 1-0. Got their single run in the 4th. That's fouled way back into the 2nd level. Albert on deck. Full count.
Well, what you don't know about this pitcher, he'd been sailing right along, hadn't given up a hit until this inning, walked just a couple of batters, but what's he going to do once he gets in trouble? And one more hit will learn that. I don't think he really thinks he's in trouble yet with just a runner aboard, but the Cardinals could get a couple of runners on, give him a little stress, then we'll see what kind of pitcher he is.
And there's the walk. 2 on, 1 out for Albert. Tomorrow morning, join News Channel 5's Art Holiday and Jennifer Blome That's St. Louis's favorite morning show, Today in St. Louis. For the latest in news, traffic, and weather, it's Today in St. Louis beginning at 5 a.m. right here on News Channel 5.
So the good news is you're going to have a good start. You're going to go 5+ innings, only give up 1 hit. But you're only going to have a 1-run lead, and you're going to have to get out Albert Pujols and Matt Holliday with 2 runners on. So, your day can get pretty bad in a hurry.
It's a little tougher assignment all of a sudden.
Oh, it is. It is. This is a tough league, Jay.
Albert has flied to right and walked. Wainwright at second. Rasmus at first. 6th inning.
What a job Norris has done, though. The last 5 starts for the Astros, their pitchers have gone a total of 18 2/3 innings in 5 outings. So their bullpen has been a mess, overworked. So his start today has been a real plus for the Astros. But this inning's going to get tougher for him.
Inside, ball 2. On deck, Holliday. This crowd has come alive here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Popped up. Oh, Keppinger.
It was an infield fly anyway. It doesn't really matter whether he catches it or not. But nobody really wanted to catch it. That was a big league pop-up.
That was a huge pitch. It's our Hardy's hot pitch of the game.
And he might have gotten away with one. Boy, that spot right there, Albert normally crushes that pitch. Middle in, but he just got underneath it a bit, pulled off it, and popped it up in the infield. I would say that pitch by Norris is a Hardy's hot pitch, but it also could have been a 3-run homer.
And here is Holliday, who has grounded out and popped out. And now time called. That's Dewey Robinson, the pitching coach, coming out to talk with Norris.
Well, I'm sure he knows where that last pitch location was, and he knows a little bit about what it's like to pitch to Matt Holliday, what they've seen from him in this series, and maybe talking about being careful with him. Although I'm not sure you want to load the bases on purpose to pitch to Rick Ankiel. I think you certainly want to be careful and make a guy maybe not quite so hot beat you, not Matt Holliday, who's the hottest, maybe the hottest hitter in the National League right now. That's not really a slap on Ankiel, but it's just testimony to how good Holliday has been.
2 on, 2 out. In for a strike.
I think that's exactly what the conversation was about, because Rodriguez actually set up about 3 inches off the plate, although he caught the corner with that slider.
Fouled out of play. Norris out in front, 0-2. The defensive alignment. Play Holliday straight away and deep. Struck him out. Quite a performance by Norris. Cardinals strand 2 after 6 innings here at Busch Stadium. Houston 1, St. Louis nothing. just swap some stories with other women who are just like you, visit momslikeme.com. It's a local website for St. Louis moms by St. Louis moms. That's momslikeme.com, where St. Louis moms meet.
A lot of moms at the ballpark today. A lot of kids out here today as well.
Family day.
Enjoying the beautiful summer weather here in St. Louis. And, you know, there have been some great games on this homestand. This has been a great game. 1-0. Cardinals obviously would prefer to be ahead, but it's been a well-pitched game. We've seen a couple of good defensive plays. Alberts really stands out that he made early on.
Rodriguez deflected, and a wide throw. Let's see how they rule. It might have been. It is a base hit. I was going to say I think he'd have been safe anyway, but a little nubber by Rodriguez after striking out in the third and fouling out in the fourth. He gets an infield single to start the seventh.
Tough fielding position for Wainwright. He actually had to put his glove behind him as his legs were already committed in one direction, so really off balance. And you know, when you're as tall as him, it's not easy to get down like that and field a ground ball. And that was probably the best chance of getting Rodriguez out. Perhaps if he let it go, might have been an easier play for Lugo.
That's the second one of those today. Norris got the first hit of the game with a little nubber like that in the third inning. Keppinger has grounded out, and he has flied to center. Catches the corner. The Astros will go home tonight for 3 against San Francisco, and then have a day off and have a 3-game series with Milwaukee. The Redbirds, of course, as we mentioned, on the road at New York Tuesday and Wednesday, at Pittsburgh Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be with you next Sunday from the Steel City. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cincinnati and the Rockies are now 4-4. The Rockies batting in the top of the 9th inning over in Cincinnati. Cleveland 11, Detroit 1, 9th inning at Cleveland. Cubs with a game at Florida, and they're starting at 4:05. Might be the TNT or the TBS game, or no. It's an interesting start time. Here's a 2-2 into short center field. Colby Rasmus makes the play. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. Norris, who had that infield hit in the third, grounded out in the fifth. Man from California, 24 years old, has pitched himself a fine game today. Squares around the bunt.
The Rockies giving up a run in the bottom of the 8th inning in Cincinnati keeps Jason Marquis from winning his 13th game. So if Adam Wainwright is able to hang in here and Cardinals are able to pick up a couple of runs and get him the victory, he will be the first 13-game winner in the National League.
DeRosa up on the grass at third, anticipating this bunt. Here it is, down to Albert. He just makes the tag. No time to make a throw. Sacrifice. 3 unassisted. Michael Bourne is grounded out on all 3 occasions he's come to the plate this afternoon. 0 for 3. the 8th inning at Pittsburgh. The Nationals leading 5-3 over the Pirates. Rick, they probably have more people watching the Steelers practice this afternoon than they have at that game.
You know Pittsburgh's excited about that.
Yeah.
Every place you go, every cab driver you have there in Pittsburgh, they know everything about the latest Steeler acquisition, and I mean, they just love their football in Pittsburgh.
This is in the gap in left, and coming home, Rodriguez, 2-0. The RBI for Bourne is his 27th of the season.
Just a nice, easy swing from Michael Bourne, just taking the pitch the other way. Not a real complicated swing here. He just lays the bat head on it, pitch away up a little bit, and that's a pretty wide gap the Cardinals were giving Bourne, but I don't think anybody's going to catch that anyway. Very simple. And Bourne picks up his second extra base hit of the day. Both of them have been by the Astros.
And Matsui had the double in the 4th inning. He grounded out in the 1st and the 6th. When he doubled in the 4th, he later scored on the RBI single by Tejada.
Keep it here. No crooked number. Wainwright is scheduled to bat 5th for the Cardinals. He's now at 95 pitches. One thing that he's done remarkably well in the last couple of months is keep his pitch count low enough so he can go 8 and 9 innings, even though he's got a lot of strikeouts. That's the way Carpenter works most of the time. Adam was throwing 100 pitches in 5 innings early on in the season, and Tony had to pinch hit for him when he'd come up in the 6th or perhaps the 7th. And now he's normally gets through that 3rd at bat normally and sends them back out there, and he's able to go deeper into the game.
Three balls and a strike.
And as we think about the Cardinals bench, thinking towards the end of this game, they've got Ryan Ludwig on the bench, who is 0 for his last 10, but it has the capability of hitting one out. And Khalil Green has rejoined the club. He's off the bench.
Line to the shortstop, Lugo. A run in the 7th. Houston leads 2-0.
There are a number of these days remaining in the 2nd half. Watch Albert make history. Find out more at STLCardinals.com.
Immediately following today's telecast, stay tuned for the post-game show with all the Cardinal highlights from today's action. News Channel 5, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals. It'll be Ankiel, DeRosa, and Molina. Ankiel is grounded out twice. Outside for a ball.
Ankiel's bounced out twice today, but he's definitely been seeing the ball better, Jay, and has had much better approaches. He's hitting the ball the other way a little bit more often.
This has popped up. Tejada, one away.
Ankiel 0 for 3 today, but he's certainly turned the corner a bit, and I think he's got a slightly different stance as well. We look at him, look how straight that bat is, and look how flat the bat is here. The hands are a little further away from the body. On the left is where he was a month or so ago. Totally different stance. I think he's a little bit lower, crouched a little lower, and really just going straight to the ball. He's got enough power that all he's got to do is have a short swing, short, quick swing, and he's still going to get his homer.
DeRosa struck out in the second. He fouled out in the fifth. One ball and one strike. Two and one. Talked about the many injuries that the Astros have had. Of course, I think, Rick, probably no team has been hurt by the injury bug more than the Mets.
I would agree.
Here's a walk.
Norris is doing a good job against his Cardinal lineup today. Just one hit through 6+ innings. And we'll look at some other games this season where the Cardinals have managed just 3 hits or less. Jojo Reyes in April. Gallardo, one of the best pitchers at times in the National League. Cliff Lee and Tim Lincecum. Those are some pretty good names. And at least at this point, you'd add Bud Norris to that list of pitchers that have kept the Cardinals at 3 hits or less.
Molina has grounded out and flied to right.
That Lincecum game may have been the best game pitched against the Cardinals.
Oh boy, what a
he's
talent
unbelievable. Because he was piling up the strikeouts as well. Speaking of piling up strikeouts, P.J. Walters was sent down recently from the Cardinals. His last 2 outings in AAA, 14 strikeouts and 13 strikeouts.
Wow.
So maybe perhaps he learned something up here. He's applying it. Maybe we'll see him in the not so distant future.
One strike to count to Molina. 1 on and 1 out. Throw over. Ooh, almost hit him.
Talked about the things that guys would say off the bench all the time. Tommy Lawless being the biggest chirper of all. Anytime a good pitcher would throw over to first base repeatedly, he'd scream at him. You had your chance. When he had the bat in his hand, you had your chance. Leave him alone. I don't care how many times you'd say that, Jay. Just make me laugh.
Runner goes. And a little shot into left center. And coming on to third. DeRosa, runners at the corners. The tying runs are on with 1 out. DeRosa has that good speed. Very good running the bases.
He just found the right spot too with Molina getting jammed, but he just finds that gap in left center field, and DeRosa able to go first to third. And now you've got a really tough decision to make if you are Cecil Cooper. And Dewey Robinson's doing the first part, going out and talking to the young pitcher, but you know your bullpen's been beat up, so you hate to kind of give the game away with a bullpen that's not pitching well, but do you really want to leave this kid in?
Well, they're getting busy in the bullpen of the Astros out and left. And Lugo grounded out in the third and tried to bunt his way on in the fifth and was thrown out. Stands in.
Chris Sampson and Wesley Wright are the two pitchers warming up. Wright, the left-hander.
Low from, they called that a strike.
There's that late call again.
Yep.
Wainwright's in the on-deck circle for now. Wonder whether you'd see Ludwig or Thurston.
Foul back. Out in front 0-2. Jason Mott out in the Cardinal pen. Norris got a big strikeout of Holiday in the sixth. Trying to get Lugo here.
Joe Thurston has a bat in his hand. He's on the top step of the Cardinal dugout.
Just did get a piece of that one.
And if Lugo is not able to get a hit here, I think we'll see Joe Thurston instead of Adam Wainwright. Wainwright is a very good hitting pitcher, no question about it, but Thurston having a conversation with Schumacher about what he's seen, and that's a good guy to talk to. Another left-handed hitter. What have you seen from him? What's he trying to do to you? A lot of communication goes on from batter to batter during a game.
DeRosa down at third, Molina over at first. Bottom of the seventh. Houston leads 2-0. Outside, 2-2.
Now with Wainwright on deck, basically what you do with Wainwright is you don't tell him that you might pinch hit for him, because you don't want him to think he's out of this game, because if Lugo pops one out of here and hits a home run, Wainwright stays in and has to pitch. So you don't want him to kind of mentally start breaking down. So during the course of a game, you got to tell one guy one thing and you got to tell somebody else something different.
Strikeout.
Now you got to tell him his day's over.
That is the fourth strikeout, and this guy has been very, very tough when he's had to be. Really a remarkable performance by this rookie, 24-year-old Bud Norris. Thurston will be the pinch hitter.
Joe's had some really good at-bats as a pinch hitter the last couple of weeks. He's got a real opportunity right here. Kind of had the embarrassment early in this homestand of getting a hit into the right field corner and missing first base, and getting called out for missing first base, which you think wouldn't happen at this level, but it does. Everything happens at this level. You watch enough games, but Thurston has had a lot better at bats, starting to hit the ball hard again.
Wainwright goes 7 innings, 2 runs on 8 hits, struck out 5, walked none. Wainwright threw 98 pitches, 66 of them for strikes. And Thurston batting .228, stands in with runners at the corners, 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
If he's going to win his 13th game, Wainwright, the Cardinals are going to have to do a little 2-out magic here in the 7th inning. There's a look at the pinch hitting numbers for Thurston. 4 for 16. 3 of those hits have been recently.
Two balls and no strikes. That's the 85th pitch coming from Norris right there, and it's 3-0. Well, you would think Thurston is taking here, of course.
I would hope that he is.
Yep.
Get another runner in the scoring position for Skip Schumacher wouldn't be a bad plan. 4 walks already for Norris, make it 5. Oh, wow. Oh, that's bad.
A delayed call by Bill Hahn, and
that's a bad call.
That really looked like a ball.
That wasn't even close to being a strike. This pitch is way down and outside. That's just a bad call.
3-1. Three and 2. Time called.
Players are men, not machines, and so are the umpires.
Struck him out. After 7, 2-0 Houston over St. Louis.
Baseball fan.
On News Channel 5 is brought to you by Dave Munganast Lexus of St. Louis and Plaza Lexus, who invite you to test drive a Lexus today. By Amco Transmissions and a whole lot more. And by Ameren UE. We listen, we respond, we deliver. Some Astro fans in attendance here. Their club up 2-0 as we go to the 8th inning. Jason Mott on the mound.
They look a little worried, though. They've seen the bullpen of late. They know how overworked they are. They know the Cardinals have a chance to come back a couple more innings. So they're not quite feeling comfortable yet.
Mott has to face the heart of this order. Pence, Lee, and Tejada. First pitch, a strike. Pence is struck out. Singled in the 4th. Singled in the 6th.
And you ask anybody who's a Cardinal fan right now, what's the one next thing that the Cardinals might need is a right-hander to shut the door in the 8th inning. And Jason Mott could be the kind of guy that develops into being that guy. At least at this point, John Mozeliak and Tony La Russa are preferring for that player to come from within.
Suffered his 4th loss of the season last weekend in Philadelphia.
And he's had his ups and downs. There's no doubt about it. But he's shown flashes of brilliance. Cardinals lost Chris Perez, of course. He'd have been one of those guys you think about as a possibility. And Josh Kinney would be another one, and he's really had a rough season. He's had a really rough time getting the command of his breaking ball and throwing strikes, and he's now in AAA. But he could find it. He could figure it out sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Struck him out. Blazing fastball from Mott.
Hard to catch up with the high, hard one, and that's exactly what that was. He blows it by Hunter Pence, the all-star Hunter Pence.
Lee has flied to center, struck out and fouled out. On Tuesday in New York, the Mets have not indicated who they're going to start, but it'll be Pinheiro for the Cardinals. The first of 2 in Gotham City, and a day off, and on to the Steel City of Pittsburgh for 3. Into center field. Rasmus 2 away. Miguel Tejada has struck out, singled, picked up an RBI in the 4th, singled again in the 6th. Top of the 8th inning, 2-8-0 for Houston, 0-2-0 for St. Louis. Both clubs have left 6 on. A little low. Two balls and no strikes. First final of the afternoon, the Indians playing in Cleveland. Defeated the Tigers 11-1. Foul out of play. Yankees are batting. Well, now the Sox are going to the plate in the 7th inning. They are batting in the 7th, and the Yankees lead them in Chicago 7-4.
Still feels, Jay, like a game the Cardinals are going to win.
Sounds good to me.
I think since they've gotten the new players, it's just been this feel with Holiday and Lugo and DeRosa that they have the ability to kind of strike quickly and strike late, as opposed to once you get through Albert in the lineup, turn out the lights, the party's over. We don't have that feeling anymore. And again, you've got Ludwig coming off the bench as a potential quick striker.
Oh, he hit it.
Out.
Wow. Quickly the trainer out.
Like he got him in the hand or the wrist. One of the two. He's taking the batting glove off. And you just hope he didn't hit something solid, but boy, that
hit him right on the back of the hand, didn't it?
Tell it got him good as he was rolling over in pain.
He's okay.
And you appreciate Jason Mott walking up to Tejada and having a little conversation.
Scary moment in this game for the already badly banged up Houston Astros.
Tejada was starting to run down to first base, and Jason Mott met him along the first base line, and they exchanged a little conversation briefly, which I thought was good sportsmanship on both of their parts. Tejada's in pain. That hurt. But when he gets up, going towards first base, looks out and says it's okay to Mott. Mott said the same thing back to him. He met him there, and to his credit.
It's kind of nice to see, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Blum is 0 for 3 on the afternoon. It's a one-handed swing for Mr. Blum.
Whoops. Forgot something.
0-2 the count.
You know, this is kind of the way it's been with Mott lately. He's got 2 quick outs a lot lately, Jay, and hasn't been able to shut the door quickly.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's happened to him at least 3 other times in the last month where he gets the 2 quick outs and then trouble starts. I'm not hoping that happens again here. You got to find a way to finish.
How's that?
That works.
Schumacher will lead it off. 2 strikeouts for Mott. 2-0 Houston.
Start with Mr. Wainwright. We'll have to give a check there. To join the holiday party, looking for offense from others, we'd have to go a big no with that one. Striking power? Question mark. I still think the Cardinals have a chance the last couple of innings to get something done.
And the new pitcher is Wesley Wright, the left-hander. Khalil Green, the pinch hitter. Green called back up from Memphis. Been tearing it up down there. Outside.
And another right-hander on deck to face the lefty Wesley Wright. Game number 30 for him. Kind of showed a flash of brilliance when he first came up. He's got a really good breaking ball, but hasn't been real consistent. That's sent down, then back up again. There's that breaking ball. That's a tough pitch to hit there.
1 ball and 1 strike. Wright's 24 years old, from Montgomery, Alabama. Into right field and on the run, and getting there just in time was Hunter Pence. Ball well hit to right.
Well, that's an easy play made look difficult by Pence, as he got a terrible jump on that. and ends up sticking his glove out, makes a good play at the end, but he did not see that ball well at all. We talked about the sky here, Jay, giving the outfielders some trouble. He's sticking his tongue out, saying, please, catch it. And Wright will not get a chance to face Ryan Ludwig. Ludwig is announced, and that means we're going to see a right-hander.
And with his pitching change, he'll take this timeout. The new pitcher is Chris Sampson. Sampson, the right-hander, 30 years old, from Channelview, Texas. Played his college ball at Texas Tech. Took the loss in Monday's 13-inning game. It's fifth in the National League with 50 2/3 innings pitched in relief.
He had a short stint on a disabled list, Jay, and I think that's part of the issue we're talking about with this bullpen. It's not that these guys aren't having good years, but they're overworked of late because the rotation is really pretty spotty.
Ludwig is the pinch hitter. Bud Norris went 7 innings, no runs, 2 hits, struck out 5 and walked 4. Quite a performance for the rookie, getting his first major league start. 2 balls and a strike. They paid attendance this afternoon, 45,227, the 21st sellout of the season. Foul outside of third.
Both pitchers in the game right now, Chris Sampson and Jason Mott, are players that were signed as position players and turned into pitchers. He's actually drafted as an infielder, a shortstop by the Astros in 1999, and they said, you know what, you play pretty good short, but I'd like to try pitching.
This is slap foul into the seats and right. Another final. The Nationals have beaten Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh 5-3. Cincinnati and the Rockies are 4-4. Colorado batting in the top of the 11th inning at Cincinnati. Another foul.
Story's even better for Sampson. He played 1 year as a shortstop, then they released him and he was out of baseball for 3 years, and then they had a tryout. He said, I'd like to try out as a pitcher, that they said, you know what, you are pretty good.
A single by Ludwig.
When Ludwig needed a hit, he's been struggling of late. There's a lot of movement, front, back. Then he gets set and drives through the baseball, and he hits that ball in the hole between third and short, where it looks like we're going to have a double switch here.
Blum is coming out of the game. And Chris Coast comes in to play first.
We're going to see their closer here in the 8th inning.
And while we have this pitching change and a double switch, back with more in a moment. Houston leading 2-0. Valverde. The closer is on the pitch.
Yeah, people may wonder why bring Sampson in at all if you're going to bring in the closer, but I think with a 2-0 lead, Cecil Cooper was trying to get through the 8th inning without having to face the tying run. But once you get to the tying run, you're going to bring in your best. Valverde with 11 saves, does one swing of the bat, and it's a tie game.
Valverde was in the game here last night. Gave up 2 hits and a run. That's inside. 0 for 9 with a couple of strikeouts. Albert has been unable to touch Mr. Valverde.
That's another reason that Cecil Cooper has gone to Valverde, pitching with the sunglasses.
Foul at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Albert's in a bit of a home run drought. He still leads all of baseball with his 34 homers. And he also leads baseball with 92 RBIs. Prince Fielder's finally caught him. He's at 92 as well. Still a very productive year for Albert, even though he hasn't swung well of late. Last homer, July 17th.
That's outside. 2-2. Here's the defense.
Yeah, it's called a doubles defense. Everybody's playing so deep, and what they're saying is no doubles. Keep the ball in front of you at all costs. Of course, you're going to play deep for Albert anyway, but they're even deeper trying to cut off those gaps.
Fouled away.
I assume they use the same sign for that. Every baseball team used the same sign. A coach would take his hand and just put it behind his head, kind of wave it behind his head, telling the outfielders nothing over your head. What you don't want is a tying run at second base.
The 2-2 offering coming. Ooh, almost hit Albert. Valverde is from one of the famous baseball cities in the Dominican Republic, San Pedro de Macorís. That little community has sent a lot of guys to the big leagues over the years.
A lot of shortstops.
Payoff pitch coming.
I think you send Ludwig here.
Ludwig is running. Foul. Valverde is nicknamed Papa Grande.
Big Papi. I guess they just call him that since Ortiz is already Big Papi. That's right.
Strikeout, throw to second, out there. Double play. Two nothing Houston after 8. Channel 5 is brought to you by Bud Light Lime. The drinkability of Bud Light Lime with the refreshing taste of lime. By U.S. Cellular. U.S. Cellular, believe in something better. And by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. Well, some changes as Green will stay in the game, Rick, at third base.
That moves DeRosa from third to second base as Skip Schumacher's out of the game, and Blake Hawksworth is our new pitcher. There's Green at third base, DeRosa now at second, and Ludwig stays in the game. He's in right field.
Rodriguez leading off here in the ninth for Houston,
and that puts Ricky Ankiel in center.
Rodriguez is struck out, fouled out in the seventh. He got an infield single and later scored on the double by Bourne. Fouled away. Hawksworth, of course, earning his first career win Wednesday night. 3 scoreless innings. Second time he's been up with a big club this season. Frank had a very nice interview with him on the pregame show today. Hope you were able to listen into that.
His confidence level was very high in that game against the Dodgers, pitching against a pretty good ball club late in the game, extra innings, a lot of pressure on him, but he was just mowing down the Dodgers. He really maybe jumped to another level. Really liked his off-speed pitch. He showed a good changeup. I don't know if he throws it as a split or not, but the ball was moving down, and he was really attacking the zone.
Full count. Into right. On the run and making the play out there.
Ryan Ludwig has stayed in the game. He's in right field. Ankiel's moved from right to center. A lot of defensive changes for the Cardinals. Ludwig had a hit in that pinch hitting opportunity in the 8th inning. There's the Yankee center. But the Cardinals not able to move him along as the strikeout to Albert Pujols, and the caught stealing ended the Cardinal threat there in the 8th.
Jeff Keppinger has grounded out and flied to center on 2 occasions. 1 ball and no strikes. Two 8-0 for Houston, 0-3-0 for St. Louis. Top of the 9th inning. Another final to report to you. Kansas City defeated Tampa Bay 4-1 at Tampa Bay. Two and two. Slap down, and Albert comes and makes the play on his own. And we'll see Coast for the first time this afternoon come to bat.
We talked about people auditioning for some right-handed help in the 7th and 8th inning for the Cardinals. If you look at any position, you say, where do they need to be maybe boosted a bit? Maybe Blake Hawksworth has a chance of being that guy.
Certainly, I think you'd have to put him high on the list.
He's in the mix. Mott's in the mix.
Coast is batting .243, a couple of home runs, 13 RBIs. He's 36 years old, from Fargo, North Dakota. He went to school at a little Division III school, Concordia College in Minnesota. Spent 5 years in the independent leagues. He's been around, this guy. Picked up from the Phils on waivers in July. He is thrown out. We're going to go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Redbirds need 2 to tie and 3 to win.
that was a big hit in this game. A double to lead off the 4th inning led to the first run, and really that's all the Astros have needed up till now. But it's not over yet. Got some power, quick strike ability here in the 9th inning. Jay, I keep saying that. Quick strike.
Holiday 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Jose Valverde back to work out there, bottom of the 9th inning.
Tell you, even when you've got the ability to do it, doesn't mean you are going to get it done every game, but you put the thought in the other manager's mind. Boy, you've still got to get through some pretty tough hitters. There's Holiday career against Valverde, but it makes you do things like bring your closer in the 8th inning.
Good fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
So in other words, you might beat the Cardinals some days, but you're not going to do it without a little stress.
Houston got a run in the 4th. Matsui leading off with a double, later scoring on the RBI single by Tejada. Another run in the 7th. Foul. Rodriguez led off with an infield single there in the 7th, and later would score on the double by Bourne. Two balls and 2 strikes.
About a base hit here. Make this inning very interesting.
The shortstop, Tejada, throws on. 1 away. Rick Ankiel 0 for 3 on the afternoon. A couple of ground outs and a pop out. DeRosa on deck. Way wide. Valverde earned his 150th career save on the 12th of July. Became the 13th active pitcher in the majors to reach that save mark, and only the 4th Dominican-born pitcher ever to do it. 2 balls and a strike.
He's got some interesting mannerisms too, doesn't he?
It's a final in Cincinnati. The Rockies win it 6-4 in 10 innings. Three and 1. Back to the screen, full count. Popped up. Just over the rail. A lot of folks have hung around. Of course, the kids get to run the bases after the game today. And another payoff pitch coming from Valverde. Walk. The Redbirds still have life. Our Budweiser player of the game, Bud. Oh, Bud was tough today, wasn't he?
He was very tough. Why not? 7 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts for a guy making his first big league start, and he really took advantage of that opportunity.
Well, DeRosa hasn't hit a home run in a couple of days. DeRosa struck out in the 2nd, fouled out in the 5th, and walked in the 7th. And Rodriguez now wants to get out there and talk to his pitcher, give him a little encouragement.
How many home runs has Jose Valverde given up this year, you might ask? Go ahead and ask me.
I might ask him. How many?
He's given up 5.
Here we go.
DeRosa has one of those in the career, not this year, but does have a home run off of Valverde. Just in case anybody might be thinking about that.
That's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Molina is on deck. Way high, 3-0. Valverde's upset with himself. Right down the heart of the plate, 3-1. Into center field. Bourne handles it. There are 2 gone. Yadier Molina will represent the tying run with 2 out, bottom of the 9th inning.
I don't think DeRosa missed that one by very much. He got under it and popped it up into center, but I think he'd like to have another swing at that last pitch. Very close.
Molina has grounded out, fly to right and singled today. For ball 1. And ball 2. Rick, no matter how this one ends, it's been a very, very good homestand.
It really has, and every game has been competitive. Cardinals really had some great games against the Dodgers. They won a couple of extra inning games as well, so the fans certainly have had a lot to cheer about here at Busch Stadium. And again, this one's not over yet, but regardless of whether or not the Cardinals are victorious today, they've had a nice series against the Astros, cooled them off a bit. The Astros have actually lost 4 straight now going into action today. But a lot of good signs, all the signs pointing positive. You're not going to win every game, but the signs, everything moving in the right direction as far as the Cardinals offense, the new players, the pitching staff, what Tony's gotten out of Wainwright and Carpenter the last 2 days is spectacular.
Ball 3. This veteran hurler is fighting himself right now out there. Foul back, 3-1.
Interesting that Yachty was swinging 3-0. He's a disciplined enough hitter that I think that makes sense to do that. You talked about Valverde fighting himself. Unfortunately, that's a battle you usually never win. If you fight somebody else, he either beats you up or you beat him up and it's over. But when you fight yourself, it just kind of keeps going on. You always lose that one.
Three and 2.
Yachty's got to not think home run now. He's got to think about getting on base, taking the ball the other way, giving Lugo a chance. Fans haven't quit.
Well, they're coming up on their feet here, hoping to get something going. Yachty steps out. The nation comes alive again. On the ground, handled by Matsui, and that's going to do it. Houston wins it 2-0 here this afternoon before more than 45,000 fans. We'll return with more right after these messages.
The deal that made us famous.